But here, he's done a great job there, putting them all in rows, kept them. Anywho, on the ball! Hello, hello, hello. Sides down. She's ready for action. So, we are getting hay bales in. Oh, well done. And we're doing it with the trailer because there's a few to take, a bit of a distance, so it makes it a little bit easy for us. We'll load it up and put the doors on shut. Yeah, so we'll go collect all the bales, put them in the barn. Stacking bales in a barn is very, very therapeutic. It's just a really enjoyable job, even more now that I've got hay spikes. Before with my old tractor I had pallet forks and they were not real easy to stack lots of hay, so you always had to be underneath the bale. Anyway, I'll show you. Just a sec, just a sec. Anyway, on wood. These are the last two there, 6 on the trailer there. Worked pretty well, this tip trailer. Not really designed for hay, but it's working all right. So we're putting these in the. I should explain why we put them in the barn. Hay compared to silage, hay is a lot drier, and we want to keep the moisture out of it. Moisture in hay bales will create heat, and not so often in round bales, but when you've got little square bales all neatly stacked in a barn, they will get pretty hot, and it's just a nice environment, and everything's sort of condensed in there and gets really hot. Round bales is obviously there's room, round, it's not square. So if you try and push all these round objects together, they're not going to get quite as cramped and hot. Anyway, yabbering on enough about that. Hay, we're going to try and put as much hay in under cover as we possibly can, and the best way to do that is on their flat. So obviously we've got a round side and a flat side. Flat side, that's the easiest way to stack in the barn. So once that's full though, then we'll have excess bales outside, because unfortunately we don't have endless shed space for hay. Hay outside will be stacked on their, well, they're not stacked. We don't stack hay outside unless you put a cover over it, but we don't do that. So we'll stack hay, round bales, like a bit of a tube, I guess, one after the other, and we'll also make sure there's room in between those rows so that moisture can't get sitting in between the two bales on their rounds, because that's another point where they can get really hot. It's condensed and start rotting or getting too hot. Heat is bad. I think I've explained that well enough. And why we don't stack hay round bales on their flat outside is because if they're on their flat, moisture will tend to go in more easily into that bale and creates, again, wet, heat issues. We'll have rotten hay. This gateway is a bit terrible for it's leaning. Oh, I think I've just clipped a post. I'll have to fix that later, or adjust it. Hopefully it's just an adjustment. So hay, yeah, so that's why we put them on there round, so that when the water sits, we're sort of sacrificing that top layer. And because the round bale is spun around like that, it doesn't tend to penetrate as far. So it'll just go for that top layer on what is exposed to the weather. So eventually it'll get rained on and so forth, but it'll just be that top layer. It's not getting into that centre. Anyway, that's enough rambling on about hay and stacking. Yeah, so in a nutshell though, like my neighbour here, he's done a great job there, putting them all in rows, kept a little bit of a gap in between. Great job. Good job. So that's as good as what you can do outside. At the end of the day, if you can keep hay in a barn, it will last a lot longer. Like stuff that's left outside, I'd probably only like to keep for a year and use it first. And then the stuff in the barn we'll use last. There is a car coming. It sucks. This thing is massive. It'll give me more of an opportunity to have a chat. But the thing is, we'll pull over here. Oh, there goes the car too. Yeah, so ideally we'd stack all our hay in the barn and then we can use it as we like. Yeah, hay in the barn's the best possible scenario. Can last years, 3, 4, 5, I don't really know how long. I've got stuff in there that's 2 years old, and I think it'd be fine. It's just dry. Wait till this person comes and goes, big wave, and we're off. Yeah. So, hay, shed, great. Great. It'll last. Anywho, on the ball! Onward! It does look very ominous on a side note, out that way. Oh, it's not really doing justice on the camera. But it's a really dark cloud and it's the day before Christmas. I'd love a rain. I love it. I don't know if we're going to get it though. Anyway, to the barn. I have to admit to something. Those bales have got a red line around them, and that is just the net wrap that Dad has used this year. And that's all well and good, but it really ticks off a little bit of OCD that I apparently have. It's got to go on the bottom. So all the bales that anyone can see, some of those are upside down, but everything else will have the red tab on the bottom. Yeah, it's just a little bit of something OCD that can happen. Sorry about that.